what to be looking for are their players from the Nigeria Premier Football League, because the CHAN are for domestic players, the Nigerian Domestic League players. And a lot to be looking for. Oh, will I see my favorite player in that list? Finally, we had Super Eagles interim coach, Eguavoen. He has unveiled that 30-man squad for the CHAN qualifiers against Ghana, with the first leg in Accra, Ghana on December 22 and the second leg in Uyo come December 28. Now, this list features notable players like Sikiru Alimi from Remo Stars and veteran player from Caterpillars, Rabiu Ali. That's the one that has got a lot of people saying, are we excited? Oh, are we not excited? This is a very experienced player in the list. But I would say the squad is a mix of fresh talent and experience. Chelsea, what do you think?
Well, for me, I think this list is actually very good. It has everybody you actually want, 30-man list. But I think it might be trimmed down to 23 at a point in time before we face Ghana in Accra. But I think my own talking point should be Ahmed Musa not making the list, because Ahmed Musa has been fantastic for Canopy last this season, alongside the 44-year-old Rabiu Ali, who was included in the list. You know, when the list came out yesterday, I was surprised because Musa being fantastic, is still eligible to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, be it the main team or the CHAN team. But in raises this question about Ahmed Musa, does he want to leave Canopy in January, returning back to Europe? But that aside, for me, I think the list is actually very good. Sikiru Alimi, one of the best strikers you have in the league. You also have Anas, is the highest goal scorer of the Nigeria Premier League this time around. You also have...
So you'll say all those names mentioned in the 30-man list are well-deserved. Let's see. I'm sorry to butt in right now. Time not up, my friend. But let's see if our guest shares the same reservations about that list, that 30-man list by Coach Eguavoen. We've got a sports editor joining us all the way from Lagos. Yes, we've got Enita Obadino. Thank you so much, Enita, for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you join us on the show. We really need to tap your wealth of knowledge concerning the Nigeria Premier Football League players that have been listed in this 30-man list by Eguavoen. Yes, so as he has said, he's a bit impressed by the number of players he has seen there, the names that have been mentioned, top goal scorers in the list, Rabiu Ali in the list, but no Ahmed Musa that a lot were anticipating they would see in the list. But there have been mixed feelings about this selection. Many have wondered that why was Kwara United Emmanuel Ogbole was not even mentioned in the list. A lot said he would have been mentioned in the midfielders list. But are you impressed with the players selected? Toyosi is impressed. Let's hear if you are impressed.
There are no perfect lists. You have to understand basically that you have to raise some issues, but I'll still give it a bit, to a certain percentage, to around 60% for this is because if you look back at the midfield selection, they're a bit light in the midfield selection in terms of defensive midfielder. Just about, I think, Jide Fatokun, others are mostly attacking midfielders. Kazim Ogunleye, Isaac from Rangers, between central midfielders and attacking midfielders. So they are light, and that means Jide Fatokun will likely do a lot of work. That's depending on the playing pattern or the playing style for the national team coaches that are prosecuting this game. So then also having Rabiu Ali, fantastic player, scored some free kick goals, about 4 free kick goals so far this season, but we know he's slow. He's not the Rabiu Ali of a few years ago, or the Rabiu Ali that attended the CHAN in South Africa under late coach Stephen Keshi, where he really played top class football. So you're playing against another African star who are physical and fast, talking about the Ghanaians. So he's good enough to make the list, but I'm not just so comfortable about his pace when it comes to the game. You know, the games between Nigeria and Ghana are never easy games. So you have to look at that's about the only place I have my worries.
Okay,
about the midfield.
Let's still have Rabiu Ali in the fore right now. I mean, for our conversation, the center of our conversation. He's 40. He is a rarity in modern football. You cannot see. Grant, please just do the research for me and see if we have more players who are 40 years old who are being invited to come play, apart from Pepe anyway, from Portugal. But I would say, especially this competition, it is traditionally aimed at showcasing young talents, homegrown talents in the league. But I would say his experience is invaluable, knowing that he has played critical role in our third place finish in that 2014 14 bronze medal finish for us, and he continues to dominate the Nigeria Premier Football League. He has contributed like 11 goals this season. How significant is his inclusion? Yes, for experience, I know, but for a player like him in a competition that is for homegrown talents to discover, young talent development from the MPFL. For us to have an experience like this, how significant is Ali's selection in this list?
His experience is good, no doubt. You cannot wave away Rabiu Ali's experience. He's been there and done that. Yeah, I think I think of my figure, he has attended about 2 CHAN, the one in South Africa, and also I think the other one in Morocco. So he has the experience. He knows what it takes to do it at this stage. But you also have to understand that football is mostly for young players. It's fast. You are not playing any other team. You are playing Ghana. They are fast and they are physical. And what he does at Kano Pillars and the way they set up at Kano Pillars helps his age, help project his ability, because they build the team around him, the midfield around him, with others doing the work and running around, helping to fill in places where his legs might not carry him as fast as you might want. So when you consider that, then you have to start thinking about the competitive nature of the game you're playing. We've not been to 2 CHANs now, and I don't think it's something we can basically gamble with. You have to consider a lot of factors when making these decisions.
Okay, let me bring in TLC here. TLC, do you think the decision?
Someone more basically lighter, someone more faster, coming up from the league. But like I pointed out, they are low on the defensive midfield part of this squad. So we need more space for the team. Okay. I don't think we are getting something entirely new out of Rabiu Ali.
Okay, Anita, I'm sure that I'm hoping that you can hear me clearly, but I was trying to butt in there to bring in TLC. I was asking, does the decision to bring in Ali reflect a shift from the CHAN's perceived purpose? Yes, the purpose is to groom homegrown talents. Now, with his age, with his experience, he has been to the CHAN before. Do you think that shifts our focus from that sole purpose of grooming homegrown talents from the league?
Well, in as much as we might say the aim is to, showcase the younger talent in the MPFL, to be honest, in recent years, we have not seen 23-year-olds, 25-year-olds come out of the MPFL and, stake a claim in the national team. So I think Rabiu Ali coming into this tournament will definitely not play an integral role. We have Kazim Ogunleye, who plays for Rangers International. We also have Isaac Saviour, he plays for Enugu Rangers. Both players are wonderful attacking midfielders. They can actually, play well, and then when the stakes are not too high, you can bring in Rabiu Ali, or maybe when you need set-piece masters to come in on board, you can bring in Rabiu Ali. But one thing, anytime I was talking about how pacey the football game is, and it is too rigorous for a 44-year-old man to play. But I would actually disagree. You're saying they set up in a wonderful way for him at Kano Pillars. There's nothing stopping Coach Eguavoen to do something as regards setting up the team around him. Of course, we need to have a first team and a second team. This time around, Ghana are not coming to play. We also are not coming to play because the last CHAN, we lost on penalties to Ghana.
Let me hear what Anita has got to say concerning your reservations about his statement. Anita, did you hear Toyosi?
Yeah, I hear him loud and clear. Basically, that's why I pointed out earlier that you have to consider a lot of factors when it comes to how the coach wants to line up or how the coach wants to play. When you understand these factors, it will now guide in understanding the final decisions. And that's why I pointed out that Rabiu Ali, he has been there and done that. You have to be honest. He's not such a new cat in the system that you're saying is that all important for the team. Yes, he said he talked about building the team around him or effectiveness of bringing him in when the wishes that. Maybe not. But for me, for a country like Nigeria that has not participated in the last 2 CHANs, we need all the strength and the energy. And if you've watched some of the last qualifiers that we lost out on penalties to the Ghanaians, basically you have to consider that it was a very pacey and very fast and physical game. That at the end of the day, it was a game of fine margins that made us not to qualify for the CHAN a few years ago. So when you are looking at the fine margins, you need all your generals, trusted generals who are strong and fast. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I understand he's a good player. I already pointed out his positive features. He has scored about 4 free kicks this season, playing from the midfield for Kano Pillars. But how often do we have to now question the fact how to establish how the coaches decide to set up. Are they going to replicate the Pillars formula? Would he have the same players around him doing the same job for him at Pillars at the national team level? That's practically uprooting whatever system that the national teams selectors are trying to create for him to be able to fit into the play. But if they say they are bringing him into the setup to encourage the boys, garner a bit of experience, maybe I understand that, but not as a first 11 player. That's what I'm pointing out.
Okay. All right, let's shift our gaze right now to Remo Stars. Remo Stars seem to, occupy more from the positions here in this 30-man list. Currently, they contribute 5 players to this list. Sikiru Alimi, we've got Junior Nduka, we've got Kayode Bakole, we've got Jide Fatokun, and also Ismail Sadiq, who has made his appearance for the Super Eagles before. Anytime does these numbers we see from Remo Stars in the 30-man list released by Augustine Eguavoen, does it underscore the dominance in the Nigerian domestic league? Anytime, are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm listening.
Okay. I'm talking about the fact that we've got... I beg your pardon?
Can you take the question, guy? You're talking about Remo Stars having 5 players.
We've got 5 players from Remo Stars in this 30-man list. And I mentioned some names: Alimi, Junior Ndukak, Bankole, Jide Fatokun, and also Ismail Sadiq. And does it underscore their dominance in the Nigerian league? Is it that the best players are from Remo Stars?
Not necessarily. You have to consider that one thing you learn from this list, from this selection by the national team coaches, is the fact that they try as much as possible to pick the form players in the league, and they mix it with a bit of experience. Alimi is just coming back from injury, but you cannot discount his experience. That's why he's joined up in that squad. Basically, I think since his return, he has scored around two goals. One of it, which was a penalty against Shooting Stars at the weekend. Bankole has been recently reclaimed his first choice position in the team, and he has been coming up big with some top class saves for Remo Stars, keeping them in games or sometimes helping them stay longer, stay on top in games. So you cannot Unduka is free kick.
Okay, I think we've lost any time here. Toyosi, do you think that's where we've got players who can be groomed for national team duties?
Well, I think that is our talent factor in Nigeria, because when you look at even their academy itself, some of their academy players still transition into the Remo Stars. Nduka, Ismail Sadiq, and Kayode Bankole, they previously played for Beyond Limited, that is the academy of Remo Stars. And now they are, they are men already, they are no longer boys. So I think the thing we have with Remo Stars now is the fact that they know how to keep a core of their players, even if some of them want to travel abroad, maybe for transfer or something. It is just like maybe 1 or 2 per season, unlike some other clubs in Nigeria where we see massive exodus every year. So Remo Stars know how to keep a core of their players, and that is why they have a lot of players in the national team, and they have their head coach as the assistant coach of the Super Eagles, Daniel Ogumode.
Do you think that plays a fact? I understand that Anytime Obadino is back here with us. Anytime, can you acknowledge?
So basically, what I'm trying to drive at is we have to pick out these 5 players. And the last 2 seasons, Remo Stars have been top 3. They've always finished the top 3 position in the league. And most of these players have been constant feature. You could pick Sadiq out. You can't question Sadiq's output in the league in the last 2, 3 seasons, where he has been the top assister in the league, playing from the wing back position for Remo Stars. Nduka has also played about 80 to 90%, if not more, of the games for Remo Stars, and for all those times that they've been in the top. Jide Fatokun, right from his days at Accra United, has been a top class midfielder, and you could easily see his game. You know why he's top 3 in his position in the league. So you can't doubt most of the position. And like I mentioned earlier, Bankole is back. He has reclaimed his top position in the club after earlier losing it to Benin Republic International Obasa. And the last 3-4 games, he has been at the top of his game, showing why he was one of the top goalkeepers in the league, where he kept a high number of clean sheets in the league season. So what they bring to the table is more important. It's not so much about the numbers. The only thing I can possibly question in that section coming out from Remo would have been Sikiru Alimi, but he has been back of late, getting a bit of, because he scored the penalty for them against Shooting Stars, and of course his experience at this level when it comes to playing for Nigeria at Chan. So if you look at all the 5 players, you could probably say, yeah, they should be there, because if you count the top 3, top 5 in the league in their positions, you definitely mention them.
All right, Anita, let's talk about Ahmed Musa's exclusion right now. That has sparked mixed reactions, especially on social media and for those who follow the league. Do we say the exclusion of Ahmed Musa, Toyosi, I'm coming to you right here, does it mean that the NFF, their strategy of having to pick players has been diverted, or do we say he's placing his career as priority here away from the league?
Well, for me, I think he's placing his career away from the league. This is not the first time we're seeing Ahmed Musa come back to the league and, you know, just spend 6 months or 3, then move back to Europe. Musa previously played for Kano Pillars many years ago, and on his second return to the club, he spent just some months before going back to Turkey. And now, he failed in Turkey due to some, you know, contract issues with Kasapasa.
Will that be a great mix for us, having to play Ghana in these qualifiers?
Well, for me, I think it's going to be a great miss, because Musa, nobody can actually fulfill the role of Musa on that left flank. Imagine if we had Musa playing for Nigeria against Ghana. It would be a lot of things, like, I mean, connection with Rabiu Ali, and also his experience with playing
So you mean Rabiu Ali's addition is not consolation for us? Let me go to Eniton right now. What do you think about that?
I think there are a lot of questions about his contract with Kano Pillars, if it's long enough for him to be regarded as that position. And you also have to consider the fact that we know he's an expensive player. Naturally, he should be the first name on the list. But from what I know, so far there have been conversations behind the scene on why he did not make that. But it would have been an advantage for us to have him with his vast experience. He has been delivering on the league. Whether Musa is playing in the Nigerian Professional Football League, or is playing in Holland, or is playing in the Premier League with Leicester, or is playing in Saudi Arabia, he will always deliver the goals and give you his 100%. So having him would have been an interesting take. An interesting player that, of course, elevates the status and the quality of the team. But I think the selectors have their reasons, and they've had conversations about it that are behind the scenes.
All right, I'm hoping that should be what we'll take home. They make the decision, for the fact that we've got 2 home-based coaches in the person of head coach of Enugu Rangers, Fideli Silechukwu, and the head coach of Remo Stars, that's Daniel Ogumodidi. Thank you so much, Enito Badino. Tamara, friend, we should have really stayed on this conversation to understand the nitty-gritties, but thank you for joining us on the show.